Guys, it is time for my favorite part of Simon TV. You are about to watch Fun with Fountain Pens. Let me launch that segment.
Here's a house. Here's a door. Windows 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready to knock? Turn the lock.
10 school. Okay, I love that. I hope you guys get as much of a kick out of that as I do. All right, sorry guys. Oh, and I've just bumped my camera. I've got a whole new setup here, and I was hoping it would work really well, and I've already mucked it up. Hang on a second. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn on my ancillary lights to take out my background so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that should be better. All right, guys. This week I have a really interesting pen to introduce to you. This is the Jinhao 9019 Dadao. I just bought it. It absolutely blows me away. I'll come to the ink in a little bit. It is called Noodlers, and I just realized that I forgot to bring down the other ink. I'm already messing this up. Okay, you will remember last week I reviewed this pen, which is the Namiki Emperor. It is extremely expensive. This is the Chinese copy of it. This pen costs so much money, I'm embarrassed to admit how much it actually costs. This pen cost $10 from China, and it is an homage to this pen. All right. Now, a very, very popular big pen is the Montblanc Meisterstück 149. Many people like Montblanc pens. Chris Pink is one who likes a Montblanc pen. He holds a Meisterstück 144. The Meisterstück 149, which this pen is a copy of, is also very, very popular because it's a big pen. I say to people, buy this Jinhao X159, which is an homage to the Montblanc 149 because it is very, very similar. It has the same shape. It is a great pen. I am changing that now since I got this pen, which is an homage of the Namiki Emperor. It is pretty much the same price as the Jinhao 159, but I like it because it's pretty much the same size, only fatter. I hope you can see that. It is really, it's very much the same length, but it is just slightly broader. It is very, very, very fun to hold. All right, taking away the 159, you can see how this is an homage. Even though it is much smaller, you can see how the clip is very, very similar. It is supposed to look like the Namiki Emperor, and it very, very much does. I think this pen is really, really cool. I often say that the 149 suits a man's hand rather than a woman's hand because it is quite a large object. However, my friend Sue hit me up in the week, and this review is for her. She said she actually quite likes a broad pen, so maybe I need to revisit that. Maybe men with smaller hands and women might actually like having a big pen like this one. Let me show you it. It has a size 8 nib. This is really, really big. It is nowhere near the size of a Namiki Emperor, but it is absolutely massive. It comes in steel, but that, nibs come in steel, iridium, platinum, gold, all sorts of things. People have their preferences. Most people like a 14 karat, 18 karat gold. These days with nibs, you get steel nibs, which are just as awesome. I don't think nib materials matter too much. This size 8 works really, really well. The other thing that is interesting about this pen is unlike some of the European manufacturers, it has no ink window, so you need to unscrew it to see how much ink is inside the barrel, and I'm going to do that for you now. Oh, at least I would if my hands weren't so sweaty. You can see that that there is ink in this, but also look at the size of this cartridge converter. It is absolutely massive. In fact, I'll show you what a normal one looks like so you can compare. So here's the cartridge converter inside my previous recommended pen, the X159 from Jinhao. you can see how little it is in comparison. What that means is this pen has a massive ink capacity. This thing is absolutely huge. The Namiki Emperor, which it is modeled upon, is famous for having a huge ink capacity. Most fountain pens take about 1 mil per fill. A Namiki Emperor takes about 7 or 8 mils. Inside this pen, you would get a solid 3 or 4. You fill this pen up, you're not going to need to fill it up again for about 6 months. I absolutely rate it. Now, I bought this in a medium. It wrote out of the box. I didn't need to alter this pen at all, and it is just absolutely a joy. It is just like a European standard medium, and it is as smooth as you could possibly want. I love it. This is just, I love this pen so much, I've been fondling it. It is just so fun to hold. It's just a perfect size. It's got this lovely nib. It comes in a bunch of different sizes. It's modeled on a pen that I really, really like. There is nothing wrong with it. Where up until recently, I've been saying to people, if you want a really great pen for not much money, buy a Jinhao X159. I am changing. I am now saying, buy this. Buy the Jinhao 9019 Dadao. All right, turning to the ink. The ink comes to us from an American manufacturer. His name is Nathan Tardif. He's a crazy kind of libertarian dude. Crazy is probably not the right term. An extremely libertarian guy. He's the sort of dude you imagine living on a compound in the mountains with a bunch of people who print their own currency. He makes fantastic pens and fantastic inks, including this golden brown. Now, most people, if they own an ink from Noodlers, they have the Apache Sunset. Apache Sunset is probably the most famous shading ink around because it shades between yellow and red, and I have shown that on a previous episode. But this ink, which is nominally a brown but is actually really, really yellow, is actually wonderful to use because it's very, very subtle. Now, hold on one moment. I need to bring down another ink to show you. I think I've probably demoed this ink before. This is Irishizuku's Jinhao. It is extremely famous for being a wonderful yellowy brown. Most people, if they have a yellowy brown ink, have this one. It's very, very expensive. A bottle of this will cost you about $60, but it's also quite shading, but it is a lovely rice stalk yellowy brown. However, this bottle here, which is similar capacity, maybe even a bit more, I think this might be 60, 65 or 70 mils, makes this wonderful yellow brown, and it is absolutely delightful to write on the page. It is so subtle, in fact, that I would actually consider using this for work. Now, normally I say in a business setting, you should probably really only use black, blue, or blue-black. Maybe you can get away with it green, but if you are feeling a little bit adventurous, this ink is subtle enough that I think that you could almost get away with it at work. Okay, guys, so that is the pen. I'm really impressed with this. This cost me $10 on AliExpress. It just goes to show you that in the world of fountain pens, there is very little correlation between cost and quality. You can get a fantastic pen for not much money, and the Jinhao 9019 Dadao is such a pen. It is fantastic, and today's ink comes to us from the United States and Nathan Tardif. It is Noodler's Golden Brown. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. This has been Fun with Fountain Pens. I'm going to play a little bit more music and then come back to you with another news article shortly. Here's the tunes.